Welcome. Chidima is a close friend of mine. She invited me to this session, so I'm glad to be here. Chidima is a
All right.
bestie of mine.
Thank you, Chidima. Coach Chidima, thank you.
Okay.
You're
Um,
welcome. Welcome.
yeah, so let me get my slides up.
Okay.
Okay. Just let me know if you can see my slides.
It's not up yet.
I'm having some. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Doc, I can.
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
The slides are yet to come on.
Okay, great. So I think it's my system then. Okay, that means my slides are having a little bit of technical difficulties. Let me try one more time to share.
Wait, but is it responding? If it's not responding, I don't know whether we can help out from our
I
own end.
can.
Okay.
Okay, can I get your email in the chat box? I'll just email it to you
Okay.
if possible.
Let's see. But you can also send to Chidima so that we can take it up via WhatsApp. But I'm trying to also send.
Yeah, send it to
Right.
me. Send it to me, ODB, please. Thank you.
You must send me your email address, please. I don't know why it's not showing.
Okay, you can send it on WhatsApp. Let me send it to you, okay?
Send me your email address. Send your email address on WhatsApp.
I've sent you my email on WhatsApp.
Then I can send
Okay. All right. So
to.
I'm expecting it to come in.
Yes. audible, very clear. But my voice clear.
Yes,
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 we can
I
hear
Chima,
can.
you
can you hear
clearly.
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry for the. Can you hear me?
I've not received it. But we can hear you, yes.
I think it can start, Dr. Davo.
Yes, you
Yes,
can hear me, right?
continuous. Even if, yes.
Okay. So let me go ahead without the slides. I'll share the slides afterwards, but it's really just hanging, seriously hanging. But I'll walk you through. No, I'll just walk everyone through the slides. Just walk it. Yeah, let me just start. I'll read you. I'll walk you through everything. Okay. All right. So basically, I'm going to talk about two major things here. We'll talk about emotional intelligence. I will talk about the art of leadership. And leadership majorly is all about persuasion, influence. How do you influence people to do what? One, the first thing I read to you is a story. Let me read a story to you. It's titled Ego. Ego. Edward and George are top and they're executives in a bank. They have risen through the ranks at the peak of their careers. They're just cordial to each other. Edward is very passionate about his achievements. He has a big ego, and everyone knows it. Edward is senior. Edward is senior to George, and has been in the business longer than George. Him about his accomplishments. George, on the other hand, is calm. He's very strategic, and also the next board meeting, which happens every quarter. During the meeting, but they make some errors, and George now notices these errors and calls out the mistakes. And he also references to Edward that he should double check his team's work next time. George viciously defending his team. And it took the chairman of the board to intervene before he calmed down. Now, this is a story almost all of us here can relate to. It's very funny how little things spark off tantrums from adults, right? And this we are there for a reason to deliver on results, right? So the question is, why did Edward behave that way? Remember, they are cordial, right? They are both doing well in their different regards. But the first thing to do is understand what caused this kind of behavior. And that's where emotional intelligence comes into the picture. Can we separate our emotions from how we feel, right? If I am Edward, now let's look at it this way. George gave him feedback during the meeting that he thinks he should double check his team's work next time, right? And usually there is something we call cognitive behavior theory, meaning there's a situation that happens which triggers a vicious cycle. After a situation, there's thoughts. The thoughts that come to us are very fast and very aggressive. In this case, Edward is feeling attacked. Edward is feeling humiliated. Edward is feeling, how dare this little boy talk to me that way? And in a flash, in a microsecond, he reacts. So our thoughts trigger our feelings, and our feelings trigger our behavior. Now, the question is, how can you control this process? You have to be able to arrest this behavior before it happens. And that's where emotional intelligence comes into play, right? Let's review everything that happened again. what is the situation? You're in a boardroom having a meeting. Now he has interpreted that. But if we look at that question again, was George wrong that he didn't catch those mistakes? How could he have responded better? Right? He could have stopped. There's a rule. You can stop. You can pause yourself for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And he could admit that, yes. And he could answer in a different way. Yes, I'm at fault. I didn't catch that mistake. Several things. I'm working on several projects and I got carried away. But yes, I won't. I'll do my best in a different way, right? Without showing anger. Or you can simply say, says a lot. He can be angry with George for that. Everybody can sense the anger. But noted says a lot of things, right? He could have done that, right? So that is a response Edward could have given. Now let's look at George, right? George said that he should have double-checked his team's work. Did George need to do that? Did George need to do that, right? If, for example, Edward has lots of work, lots of projects, he's busy, he's working on really major projects, George could have shown empathy, right? He could have recognized the fault, the mistake, but he must not have said anything, right? He could have said in a different way that will also won't lead to such aggression, lead to such behavior, right? This whole process is literally the backbone of emotional intelligence. Understanding yourself and understanding other people, reading other people, and having empathy to how you respond to people. Now, I want us to put ourselves in that picture, in that similar situation. Think of the last time someone challenged you publicly, right? In a meeting, right? Mr. Samuel, you said today was one of those days, right? And I'm curious to know what happened. Did you lose your cool? Did you lose your head when all these things happened? Did someone ignore your contribution at work, your idea? Did someone speak to you disrespectfully or just outright rejected your idea? How did you feel? You are triggered. Those are called triggers. Those are called triggers. How do you respond when you are triggered? Right?
Yeah.
So you have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Can you share
No, I
something?
want to validate your point. Okay, you exactly what happened. I think it's
Yes.
summarily puts, so I can summarily say my thoughts or something that wasn't supposed to be linked to me. Someone's maybe, how would I put it now? Your inability to have done what you ought to do now affecting my own work. You understand where you're
Yes.
supposed to like
Yes.
having it on. So you didn't do your part. So it's now getting to me and I'm the one now taking the blame.
The blame.
Right. So
Yes.
um
Yes.
that's the exact scenario. That's a kind of thing. So
That's a
that's what.
good story. Eh, Funny enough, I have a exact case study like that. I have an exact case study with what you just mentioned, right? And I'm curious, how did you feel when that happened? What were you feeling? Anger, resentment? What were the feelings you were experiencing at that moment? Disrespected?
Yeah, anger, frustrated, because it's something that I reminded the person, okay, let's get this done, let's get this done, and excuses upon excuses. We now got to this point, and then the blame was like you were supposed to have spearheaded that, more like not giving room for that kind of laxity. So
Yes.
I felt, I felt angry. Yeah,
Yeah. So a learning for this could be okay. Next time, to ensure this doesn't happen, I'm going to put timelines. I'm going to put responsibilities clear for everyone to see. I'm going to keep everybody aware, possibly through emails, copying everybody so everybody's aware of what's going on. And for this particular task, I will ensure that it's done fast as possible, even though it means me getting it done.
People should
right?
be allowing somebody to enter inside when the person comes. And Adrian behind the curtain. Welcome.
So this is an example of emotional intelligence, and understanding the situations behind it makes your response better. Now, as we move on, people are emotional beings. Everybody, they're all emotional beings. Today we're happy, tomorrow, next minute we're sad, next minute we're angry, we're feeling shameful. You have to be able to read your emotions and read the emotions of other people, right? It is extremely, extremely important in leadership, in working with our colleagues. And I'm sure everybody knows this, but emotional intelligence is more important than our IQ. How, how smart you are. Please, can we meet our lines, please? Thank you. How smart we are in the workplace doesn't necessarily mean those people get promoted, right? It's people who have emotional intelligence who can relate with other people very well, easily. Those people are the ones who naturally progress faster than people who are the smarter ones, right? Emotional intelligence needs you to be ability to get things done, get people to work with you, right? And almost as saying like 70-80% of success boils down to your emotional intelligence. Now, I'm sure everybody knows this Daniel Goldman's four parts of emotional intelligence, which is self-awareness and self-management. That is on you.
So what happened?
How self-aware are you?
Hmm?
How self-aware are you? And have you done your self-assessment on yourself? Right? All that makes you aware of yourself, so you know your triggers and you know how to respond. Now, after self-awareness, the next thing is regulation. How do I control myself? How do I respond in certain situations? How do I adapt and control myself? Right? Now, the second part is now the social part, which is social awareness. Now, some people to lead a team, when it comes to leadership, there are different levels of leadership. And I'll talk about the 5 levels of leadership, right? Now, people respond to your leadership style, basically. And empathy is very important in leading people, right? What if someone is going through something, like for example, during one-on-one meetings, let's say you're managing a new team, you have your one-on-one meetings with your team. It is very important to have those one-on-one meetings differently from the group meetings. The group meetings, several things are not said during that space. There's not so much sureness about who you are and what you are going, if they are even safe around you. But one-on-one meetings, you can open up more to the individual. You want to know about the person. You want to know what their dreams are, what their goals are, right? And the person tells you, I'm planning to do my master's program. I don't know how that will be possible. You find out some more things and say, okay, based on where I sit, it's possible the company can support you. But the first thing first is I need you to deliver on the job, right? I can't have that conversation about supporting your master's program from the company's perspective without showing them reasons why. You start asking about their performance. You now agree on a particular, okay, let's do this. This is your KPIs for this quarter, this whole year. If you can meet this by the second, third quarter, with this, I can have conversations with the company to start to see how we can support you on XYZ, right? So that's empathy. That even listening to what someone is going through makes you a better leader, as opposed to, hello everyone, I'm your new boss. This is what we're going to achieve. This is the roadmap. I really don't care what's going on in your lives right now, but bottom line, this has to happen. That's a different perspective, right? And trust me, you also deliver results with fear, right? You can such persuasion, such influence happens naturally. Fear will drive people to deliver, but it will only work for so long. People will burn out, your team will burn out, and if your culture is high attrition is fine, and you keep recruiting every year, every 2 years, that works for you and that company. But if you're looking to build a sustainable company, you have to be able to be an emotionally intelligent leader that knows the strengths of each individual in his or her team, knows their weaknesses, know their capabilities, know their capacity, right? And you literally are working them like a puppeteer, right? Working towards their strengths, their weaknesses, you're helping them grow in their weakness, their weak spaces. You're coaching, you're mentoring, right? But it's coming from a place of deep understanding, right? And that's why the emotional intelligent leader is always far successful than someone who's not emotionally intelligent, right? Um, Now I'll give you 5 steps to respond emotionally, right? After those 5 steps, I would now move into different levels of management, of leadership. Number one, identify your emotional triggers. Get a pen and paper, write down how you feel during states of anger, states of disrespect. When someone disrespects you, how do I feel? Right? And I know lots of people when they say, "This is me, this is how I react." I can't hide myself. Oh, this is me. I'd say it as it is, right? All those things are good and fine, but the truth is, if you want to grow as a person, you have to have the ability to step back and review things, right? Step back and review things and say, okay, this this is me. How do I grow? And I'll give you a beautiful um, framework to use. It's called the Johari window. Johari window. Please type it in the chat box if you can. Johari, Johari window. It's a beautiful exercise that helps people show you your blind sides. They tell you a lot about yourselves, your strengths, your weaknesses. They even tell you things, your blind spots, especially your blind spots. They could tell you things that you are not good at presently, tell you things that you are amazing at that you have not realized, right? That's another good way objectively to grow yourself emotionally and to grow your strengths and to help you even move to your next level. Because there are some things you might not even know, some gifts you might have that you don't even know you carry. But that Johari window is a very good exercise. You can Google it search it on YouTube. You see the framework for that. Number two, after everything, your emotions and your triggers, write them out. Number two, write down how you react. When I'm angry, I react like this, right? You've already seen your emotion, you've seen the trigger, right? You've seen your response rather. The next thing is slow down your response time. We advise you to walk away from the situation, be quiet for a minute, then take time to reflect. How can I answer this? How can I see it from a different perspective? Maybe the person is actually making sense and is not trying to contradict you. But because you have a bias already, your triggers is forcing you to react. But if you look at it from a different perspective, is there something else? Can I slow down my response? Can I listen to the person for 30 seconds? When your team members are giving excuses why it wasn't done, in your mind, you're saying it's an excuse, excuses. But in truth, are they making some sense here? Maybe they were not supported, they didn't have the right tools to get it done. If they actually just listen a bit and you see that in truth they are making sense, right? And it happens a lot as parents to our children, even at home, when your child is telling you something, but from a parent perspective, you're saying, no, go and do it, I don't care. But if you actually listen to kids, sometimes, because children, they can really be, they can really be, they can test your patience, right? If you give them some time, you hear their perspective and you see sense of what they are saying. So the fourth stage is challenge your initial reaction. So number one, identify emotional triggers, slow down your reaction, your reflection time. Have reflection time to think what they're talking about and then challenge your initial reaction. Am I responding out of anger, out of pride, out of ego? Are you responding out of pressure? Are you even responding out of pressure? Like you are stressed. This is stress talking, right? And then number 5 is choose a better response. Choose a better response. So that 5 steps will help you do better in any situation. Empathy is the watchword here. Empathy to understand what someone is going through, to realize when is the best time to have a particular discussion or not, when is the best time to make an argument or not, when is the best time to push forward with your ideas or your opinion or not, right? It takes a lot of awareness to understand the room, understand yourself, right? So that's a summary of emotional intelligence. And to get better feedback on yourself, that's what I always advise doing, getting feedbacks from your direct reports, your manager, your peers, your customers, right? And doing this thing, this Johari window exercise, right? It's a very brilliant way to help you grow, right? Now, moving into leadership, there's a very popular John Maxwell video on YouTube. I would have played it for you guys, but since my laptop decided to act up today, I'll just explain everything for you. And I'll also advise that we look for this on YouTube if you haven't watched it before. There's this short version. I'll share all these things with Chidima and she will share with everyone again. So, number 1 for the first level of leadership is position. Please, someone type in the chat box position, please. Level 1 is position. Position. Now, people follow you because they have to, right? And what does that mean? It means you have a title, and that title is usually boss. You are the boss. You are the oga at the top. They report to you. They don't have any choice but to do the work. Now, this is a very low, this is the lowest of leadership, lowest level of leadership, right? It's yes, yes, no, yes, I, yes, ma, no, ma. It's basic. They will give you their hands, but they will not give you their hearts. Once it's 5 o'clock, they are looking to run away out of the office. They're not looking to give you any extra more. Now, there's nothing wrong with this level, honestly. Not everybody will be at level 5 with you or level 3, whichever one. But it's very shallow, like I mentioned. Right? You want to move from level 1 to level 2. And that's how your influence increases. Your amount of influence increases with your level of level of leadership strength that you have. Now, level 2 is permission. Permission. People follow you because they want to follow you, right? They want to follow you because they've seen that you are a leader that grooms people. You're a leader that cares about people. You just don't care about the work. You care about them. You know them by name, right? You know about their family. You know how many kids they have. You know what their aspirations are. You've taken time to work with them, understand what their needs are. Outside work, you understand what their problems are. Now, this is not giving room for see finish or giving room for excuses where staff comes back to you and tells you they have this problem, that problem. No. Because number 1, everyone knows your leadership style, which is I'm focused on results. Results, results, results. That's the most important thing to me, right? Every other thing is secondary, but you must deliver on your tasks, right? If you have challenges, delegate it, shout for help, right? Ask for collaboration, but you cannot use issues at home to spoil the collective results of a team. So everyone knows that. So it's a very good barrier. I know you, I know everything about you. I work towards helping you grow in the company or helping you grow in life as a person, right? People follow you because of that. They know that you care, right? And that is level 2. They connect to you. They know you. They feel you. They connect with you. You listen to them. They observe you. They learn from you. And there's a spirit of servitude. You serve the people. You are very caring and serving, right? Even though you are also could be a strict boss, but they know you for that. So they give you permission. That's why it's called level 2 permission. Level number 3 now is results. Now, people know you at this level, and it's actually called production level. The production level. And the foundation of this level is results. People follow you because of what you have done for the organization. Period. Everyone knows that you're a star leader. This is what you've done year in, year out. Your teams, they know that any team you manage, it's like magic. You do well. They follow you because you produce, you're a producer. And they see that you're a producer, right? And people, they model themselves after you, right? Because they know that this boss is a boss who is very focused, and you're talking about big level results. Let's say in a multinational company, or you have different subsidiaries, and you're like the group CEO, right? People know that that is you. Like you are very hands-on, you love your work, everything is right. You have your team, you have your system, it works, right? People are lobbying to get into your unit, get into your department because you have built a team that is very, very robust, very efficient. And there's something I usually advise for leaders and team leads, whatever capacity you lead, that your team, you should have a value system for them. Now, this value system is very important when you do vision casting. And vision casting is ability to share a vision with your team, right? This is what we're going to achieve. What does picture of success look like, right? And there's a game I play with my team. I give everybody a value, right? I call you there's a particular value each person has. So if I have 5 values and they are number 1, respect, number 2, integrity, number 3, creativity, number 4, ownership, and number 5, something, right? So I give everybody one value. Like, okay, Peter, you represent respect. Sarah, you represent creativity. Deborah, you represent ownership. Fumi, you represent integrity, right? And Samson, you represent discipline, right? So I start making it a fun thing, and everybody starts holding themselves accountable to those things. So, for example, if someone comes into the meeting, online meeting, and is late, they now start making fun of the person. How can you be late? You are disciplined, and you say you are not in the meeting on time. Why? There's no excuses. I don't want to hear what happened, and they start taking ownership of it. It's a very beautiful thing if you can make it a fun process. After a while, everybody starts holding themselves accountable, right? And your job is almost halfway done because now they are not also behaving the way you want them to behave. They understand what respect means. Respect means I respect you, you respect me. I respect your job. We respect what we create as a team. We hold ownership means we take it, we own our task, our duties. Nobody drops the ball, right? We are there as a team to cover each other, cover our back, right? We don't do backbiting here, we don't do gossiping here. Those things are very interesting things that bring such camaraderie to a team, right? But you, as a leader, you have to live it. You have to represent it. You can't be saying all these things and not it doesn't show in your leadership style. It doesn't show in everything. Any problem or pressure, you snap. You start shouting, screaming around the place. You start insulting people. That doesn't show respect. Doesn't show ownership. Because as a leader, everything falls on your at your table. Right, Mrs. Samuel, you mentioned how today that meeting you had, because that happened, it still fell on your table. You were upset, but that is the sacrifice a leader has to make. It comes back to you, right? So And level 3, like I mentioned, is all about production, and you've built systems to make sure your team always produces and always wins. Level 4 is people development. People development. At this stage, you are now reproducing people. You are very good at reproducing people, right? And how you empower people is that now at this level, I'm looking to succession planning. Yeah, reproduction. People follow you because of what you have done for them, right? So in this level 4, there's a lot of succession planning, coaching, mentoring at a high level. And John Maxwell teaches 5 different steps in this teaching process, right? Number 1 is I teach you how to do it. I teach you how to do something, right? You watch me, I teach you how to do it, right? Level 2 is I do it with me, with you. The first one, I'm doing it, you're observing me. The second one is I'm doing it, you're with me, doing it together, right? I'm teaching you hands-on, you're watching. Now you're practicing, you're getting it done, right? The third one is you do it, I watch you. You do it, I watch you, I correct you. Maybe we go for meetings with top level executives. Now I let you manage that meeting, right? You've seen me doing it in the past, but now it's all on you. I watch you doing it, right? The fourth level is now you do it alone. I don't bother. I know that Fumi can handle these meetings. I don't need to follow Fumi for those meetings anymore. Fumi is great now to handle those meetings. The fifth level is now you take somebody and you start grooming that person, right? So those are the 5 levels of grooming that needs to happen at a reproduction level, people development. Now, all these things are things that happen across all of them, level 1 to level 5. But the bigger the company, the bigger the role, it gets more harder to do this, right? If you are head of national manager for Nigeria, for instance, or you're even West Africa, or you're Africa lead, the bigger the role, the harder it is to do such have such levels of leadership, right? And the fifth one, which is level 5, is level of pinnacle. People follow you because of who you are and what you represent, right? People respect you at that level. You are at the highest level of leadership, right? And people know you, they know your name, they know what you've done. Respect comes with your name. It's no longer trial and error. In the industry, people know you for what you do. So these are the 5 levels of leadership, right? And as I wrap up this conversation, today's been a long day, so I want everyone to learn, take what they can from this session in a very fun way, and the ability to use it in your other things you have to do this week, right? So, in a nutshell, we've spoken about emotional intelligence, spoken about the different levels of leadership, and we've spoken about the psychology of persuasion, right? People are human beings, they are very emotional. And it reminds me of the triangle, the Maslow's triangle of hierarchy, right? It's about 5 levels, um, 5 levels of hierarchy. Number 1 is safety. The bottom level is safety. People want to feel safe. If you can give people to a degree of a level of safety in the workplace, they feel relaxed. They can work for you. They can trust that I'm working in a safe environment, right? That's the first one, safety. The second one is about security, security of their jobs. The first one, excuse me, let me start again. First one is psychological needs, food, salary, all that. Basic. That's basic. What shall I eat? What shall I wear? Like their basic needs are covered. Number 2 is safety and security. Their jobs. They have a nice job, a nice role. They feel safe doing it. The third is love and belonging. Now, love and belonging. People want to be. They want to be in communities. They want to be in groups. They want to say that's where I work. This is my team, right? Nobody wants to be a loner, right? So you making your teammates feel loved, right? On Fridays, once a month, you just buy pizza for everyone in the office, right? There's a certain level of care as a leader you're giving to them. These are things you do to soften them up and let them allow you lead them. They give you permission. Psychologically, they open up themselves to, okay, great. This is a great leader. Let me let her or him lead me. Number four is self-esteem. Now, self-esteem at this level, people have achieved achieved a lot of things. They want to be recognized. So no matter how much work someone does, recognizing them is important, right? Henry, you did a great job today. We recognize every quarter, every month, recognize star performers, right? Then the fifth one is self-actualization. It's not really relevant to this discussion, but all through all through your career, all through people's careers, all this come into play. And your ability as a leader to understand um, what would be the thing that makes them open up. Calling them by name is very important. Recognizing them for doing great jobs, celebrating them on their birthdays, or just even celebrating them on for random things, their child's naming ceremony, um, going for their child's um, dedication service in church. All those things are very important. It shows me you care as my boss, right? So at this point, I will stop. And in summary, spoken about emotional intelligence, different levels of leadership, and different strategies and tips you can use to build your team so that they allow you to use them to walk through them to achieve the company's goals. Okay,
Thank you very much, Doc.
thank you.
You want to take, would you want us to go into Q&A, or
Yes, move
do
into
you still have
Q&A.
some more here
Go
before?
Q&A.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was so insightful. So insightful. My notes are filled up. I don't know about others, but that's quite helpful, especially having a similar experience. So I had to pay great attention, at least to gain something for myself. So if you have any question for the guest facilitator, this is a good place to um, put across your question. You can use the comment section to the chat box to put down your question, or you can raise your virtual hand and then you'll be called upon to unmute and ask your question so that we can have some orderliness. It's also a good place to make contributions if you think that you have something to add to what he has said. There always room for greater knowledge. People would always have varying experiences and perspectives. This is also a good place to do that. And if there is a light bulb moment for you in the course of his teaching, is also a good moment to share so that we can benefit from your knowledge of what the session has done for you tonight. All right. Go ahead, Coach Lebari.
Good evening.
Good evening, Miss Coach Lebar. Good evening. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Same here, Mr. Ejumudo.
Yes,
So I was
ma'am.
looking for a reaction button. I did not put my hand up, but it's all good. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that session. I really enjoyed it. And coincidentally, I had a situation where my EQ had to come into practice. Today where I went to a shop and they accused me of doing something wrong. And I was trying to tell them I didn't know it was wrong. And there was no signage that it was wrong. Anyway, let's leave that. I don't think I want to talk about that. But I had to keep reminding myself, calm down,
Calm down.
calm down. There's no need to enter, into a conversation once people have just blocked and they don't want to listen to you. My question. And thank you for that exercise about the different values. I'm also one who once a month I do an EQ exercise or some exercise with my team, and they all look forward to that. So I'm going to try the values one as well. Thank you. So my question is, I have a particular staff. She's very defensive to feedback. And I'm wondering, is that something I'm missing in my leadership? Because I've also noticed, so I've tried different methods of, minding the way I speak. I've even played it out in my head and then, speak to her about what I want to say. I've tried to make it constructive. And I'm wondering, is there a leadership nugget I can get on handling a situation like this?
That's a very good question. The truth is, not everyone will respond how you want them to respond because everyone is carrying their own baggage in their own minds, and you can't control everybody. But even the Bible says, if you give advice to a smart person will listen. But if you give advice to the person who's not so smart, they will actually not appreciate that instruction, right? Feedback is the breakfast of champions. It's the breakfast of champions, right? And sometimes you can actually use the sandwich technique, which is you give them good feedback. This is something you're doing extremely well. Then you also give them, then not tell them what is they are doing wrong, how they can improve on that, and then you end again with another good thing they are doing. So that softer approach might help.
Coach, I teach the sandwich. I teach it, I train.
It's not working. It's not working for this lady.
But thank you for the Bible passage. I'm going to look for it.
Some people you can help, some you can't help. Another thing you can do is also someone else should give the feedback, right? Someone else should give the feedback. If she receives you, doesn't see you in the light of as a friend, it might be hard for her to take that feedback, right? But um, it's not a good feedback. You giving this feedback is not a good telling well about her performance, her attitude, because workplace is really about attitudes. And more people, that's emotional intelligence. People succeed a lot in workspace because of emotional intelligence, their attitude and all that. It says if you are feeling disrespected when you give her feedback and it's constant, it will get to the point sooner or later where you people might have to separate ways because yeah, it's a reality of life. So it's left for her to really step up. But try using someone else to give feedback.
Yeah, that's great. I'll try that. One thing I've noticed is she doesn't like being called up for anything. She doesn't like the light on her. She doesn't like being the focus of anything. She's very brilliant at her job, but she wants to just do it behind the scenes. If you call her to speak about it, to train somebody, no, 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 no. So I think that feedback also just brings
Next
up
time,
all
okay.
her, oh,
Okay,
yeah,
I like the context now because now
yeah,
she sounds like a very brilliant performer. So she doesn't need to have that extreme reaction. So yeah, I think it's more of coaching. It's more of coaching and getting her out of her shell little by little.
mhm,
So you can actually agree to do a performance improvement plan, something for her that okay, this next quarter, I'll make you have presentations once a week. I'll make it for your own good. So I'm coaching you. So if she sees you as a parent figure, a coaching figure, she might appreciate it, especially after 3 months. She says, "Okay, I can see how much I've grown." So just give her baby steps, and help her on that journey. I think she
yeah,
she deserves it. She sounds
yeah.
like a fantastic. perform.
Yeah, I've not been able to let her go despite
Mm,
complaints and all
mm,
that. She's
mm,
brilliant at her work. Thank you for that. I will give her baby steps and
mm.
discuss with
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much for the session.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach Levari, for the question. We have gleaned from it. And thank you, Dr. Dabo, for that insightful responses. Even when we didn't get one, you kept on bringing one after the other, many approaches to be deployed. That's quite commendable. Thank you. We have some comments in the chat box. Florence is saying, this session has taught me patience before reacting. And we now have a question saying, how do you differentiate, that's from Temitope, how do you differentiate the place of keeping quiet, that's like having the pause, and then the place of where people take you for granted because you kept quiet? Did you get that, Dr.
Yeah,
Tabo?
I got the
Okay,
question.
okay,
Okay, that's a very interesting question, honestly, because I understand that in the workplace, perception is as good as reality, right?
yeah,
And you can't just be seen to be quiet or reserved or not not being aggressive when needed to be aggressive. So it's really about it being a balance of why am I employed? Why am I here?
mm,
Right? When there's clarity of what my job is, right, I'm very focused on that. And to me, I'm very result driven because most of my work experience is sales. I do lots of sales training, sales results, right? So anything that
yeah,
interferes with that, I would act on it. I will react, right? I could do that in a way where respect, I'm being respectful, right? But this has to happen. This is the issues, objective, these are the issues I have seen, and these are the solutions I am recommending, right? You can, so I always end on that note on solution. I'm not being, what's the word? I'm not being hysterical here, or I'm not trying to throw blame or I am focused on the results. So you can't be quiet. And because the kind of places I work, visibility is a very important thing, right? You have to be visible. You have to be seen to be contributing, right? So you can't just back. If you're in a meeting now and someone is antagonizing your idea, I will give three reasons why I don't think you're correct, and I believe these are the correct reasons, right? So you have to speak up. Not don't be afraid to speak up, but choose battles. I think that's the right word. Not every engagement is a battle.
yeah,
Yeah,
choose your,
but we are all here for this reason. This is the objective, and I believe this is the best approach. And these are the facts I'm going to support it. And I'm open to brainstorm and listen to the ideas. Bottom line, let's work with the best ideas and move forward. That's my approach, as opposed to being quiet. We will talk. We will talk. We will engage. We will talk in a very healthy, passionate way. It's not a quarrel, but it's a healthy, passionate way. And if you ever lose your guard and react, be open to apologize and smooth things out. If not, just try and give your best.
thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tabo. I hear you. What I hear is, so whilst she can take a pause, it should not be a complete silence, not to speak up for what should be done, right? So while she takes a pause, she still has room to present her points, probably in a calmly or in a more acceptable way. But just to go, all out without talking is not acceptable, especially when you have the knowledge to or the solution to that problem, and you say, okay, because you're being antagonized, then you wouldn't be able to speak. So that's what I got from what you explained. So don't just go all out being quiet. Also, you take a pause, but you would present your points in such a way that it will be clear that this you have a solution to what the problem is. Is that what you were trying to say?
Yes, correct. And to give one more example, I know a particular lady, she's a board member of several multinationals. And during the board meetings, everyone is um, speaking, sharing ideas, and you are meant to be visible and vocal too. But she also realized that when she studied herself better, she realized that she doesn't process everything real time and doesn't is not always in a rush to comment. So the beauty is after such meetings, there's enough time to reflect and send a report. So she does that. Like after the meetings, she reflects over the meeting and sends her own contribution on top of what she has also shared previously. So you might not always have that um, channel or opportunity in your place of work, but it depends on what works for you and what you can. So if you know you're angry, do not respond. You can say, I'll respond later, I'll get back to you. And there's a rule that never send an email while you're angry too. So that pause is really about you understanding the timeline where you have to calm down, think objectively, and respond. Right? So just to put that in as an added example.
Thank you very much. I think that even makes it clearer um, on what the situation holds for us if we find ourselves in such spaces. And I'm sure Temitope is already giving you a thumbs up. So you must have done a good job at answering the questions clearly for her
Thank
and for.
you, Timmy. Yeah. Chidima, can you hear me? I think Mrs. Samuels' um,
Yes,
internet's
I
glitching.
I can see she's frozen. Okay, so I wanted to ask a question. I don't know if we still have time for that. All right. So I want to paint a scenario where you are the HR in the company, but another staff and the line manager are having issues. So that line manager keeps sending reminders. I mean, you send up to like 5 reminders for one assignment to be done. And then you as HR, what the role you play is is you just sit on the fence. Okay. So you keep saying that your role is advisory. So you don't step in to speak to the line manager that this thing has gotten beyond reminders. It needs to be escalated. Action, call to action needs to take place and all of that. You just sit on the fence, and then the line manager calls you, and as HR, all you say is, what do we do about this? The line manager says, I think we should still give this person another chance. So you now, the HR, send reminders, and you also send couples of reminders, like 6 other reminders on one assignment in an organization. You know, I want to ask you, how do you how does one handle this kind of situation? Because definitely, this, if that staff is sacked, is going to definitely lead to litigation issues, because there's nothing that is showing that there was any enforcement anywhere, both by his line manager and also the HR. Everybody is sit down, look, sorry, I had to use that term and all of that. What do you really do? How do you apply emotional intelligence
No,
in
this
this
is not.
scenario?
It's already looking like the impact on the company is not it's not desired now because I see timelines slipping. I see results being not being achieved, especially if the person is in a critical role. So it's every company has their code of behavior and code of conduct. So I think it's line manager should have made it official, should have been given a query. If he needed help, I mean, they could have actually, he should have sat down with the particular team to find out, teammates, and find out what person is going through, why is the person struggling, and support the person to achieve results. So it's actually on the manager, right? How to get that person to perform better. And that's where the performance improvement plan comes in. Usually that's a nice way of telling a staff either you shape up or you ship out, and they give them a timeline of 3 months or whatever is agreed, and they take it from there. So if there's a weekly review or bi-weekly or monthly, this is the target that has been given, this is your KPI, and if it's not meeting it, it's being documented, and when it's time for exit, it's time for exit. So
Okay,
yeah.
so let me add a little more meat to what I've said. So the person was after like a year, the line manager now decides to put the staff on PIP, and the staff rejects the PIP and chooses to go on PIP. And then okay, so top management says get external investigators to review the whole process and all has been happening. And when interview was conducted, the HR says, all my role here is advisory, and I keep sending reminders as my own line manager, instructs that we should do, And then the line manager says, I love accountability, I love staff development, blah, blah. I kept giving him opportunity to improve and improve and improve. I mean, he gave me opportunity for over a year and all of that. So right now, when the investigators are asking critical questions, I mean, at what point does it break for you? At what point? I mean, you as line manager, you've sent 5 reminders on one assignment. HR has sent another 7 or 10 reminders on the same assignment, and still there was no shift. There's no query. There's nothing. And everybody is owning that, we've done our best. We won't put him on PIP. He refused to attend. We told him to go for training. He refused. Is this person Lord and Master in the company?
Apparently, the person is now, because I cannot fathom a scenario where such is happening in any company, unless he's the son of the owner of the company or son of one of the board members. Otherwise, I know there's something amiss from this
No,
story.
they've asked the line manager and the HR if he's the son of anybody, if he has a sponsor or not. And they said no. They even asked him during his own interview, say he doesn't know anybody. But so how come he's so adamant and he's been in the system and all of that? And
I
then
don't.
when the investigators said that things have not fallen short, or like the businesses that or assignments under him, there's no lost assignment, because during the interview of his line manager, she says, I stepped in so that the ball does not fall through the cracks. When you say that an investigator said nothing spoiled in the company because the guy did not sit up, you're angry that why are they saying that? All these reminders show that he's insubordinate. But he didn't do anything as a manager. You now want the external people to come and discipline, and you know that external people can't actually say this is what you will do as a company. They will just put the facts out there for you to decide on what you do with the staff. Okay, I just wanted to find out how, if one is an external investigator, what emotional steps do you need to take, or communication do you need to pass across if the person is not the external investigator and is the HR? What are the emotional things that the person needs to do? What are the things person needs to do right? And again, if it's the line manager, so if it's something that you can say that one can do, and at any if you're any of those persons, you can actually do the same thing or do things differently. I will really appreciate that. It will help a lot. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chidima. Honestly, I'm taken aback. I have really don't know how to answer this
Looks
question.
like a triple barrel question, Dr. Tabo. I hope you can handle them within this.
I don't know what to do, honestly. I will not take such a brief because I don't understand why the company has not let the person go. I really cannot answer that question, Chidima. There's more. It seems to me there's more to that guy's story, and I do not know why. Why is even an external? That means they were scared to even let him go because
Yeah.
I assume he wanted to. He was not threatening to sue. I do not understand. I can't understand what is really happening there. So I think I need more context, total
Yeah.
context of the real. Maybe there's some information you're not even aware of that that is that's catalyzed that whole story. So I can't answer this one at this moment.
Maybe Chidima will need to give you more context and also reach out.
Let's meet behind camera. Let's meet
Behind the
offline.
scene. Okay, no problem. That's fine. Thank
But
you.
Let's
if
dissect
you will need to share with us too what the answers because special assignments so that we all learn and read from it and grow better in
I'd
our
No
like to know
team.
where the
problem. I'll
person is now.
definitely
The
share.
person, I wonder where the person
Thank
is
you.
working now.
All
All
right.
right.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Otabo. That was excellent. And I must say that your style of responding to questions is quite commendable. I think I like how you go about them. You must be sure that you have enough information to be able to come to certain conclusions. And that for me means a lot, not just particularly for this scenario, but generally in life scenarios. Always aim at having more perspectives before taking a stand. Thank you very much for that. It's
Thank
been
you.
a very enlightening session, and trust me, it won't be bad, or it won't be a bad idea to have you another time on this platform, even if you're not talking about psychology of influence, maybe on another thing. But I hope you'll be open to us if we
My,
reach out to you
my
some other
pleasure.
time. It's been a great evening sharing from your wealth of knowledge. And from every one of us here, we say a big thank you, a humongous thank you at that, because you have touched different points, even from the questions that were answered. I was saying something before the network threw me off. I said we have some guests. I'm not sure if they are members of the community yet, but Coach Chidima will do me the favors, the honors of reaching out to them with links if you're not yet members to please join our community, because it was based on this community that Dr. Tabo was able to join us this evening. If there was no platform as such, maybe we wouldn't have come in contact with him. So we need more people to join so that we do this every bi-weekly. We bring in people here to teach us and help us shape what we already know or teach us what we don't know already. And that helps us grow better and perform better. So on that note, Dr. Taiwo, want to say thank you. Thank you so much. It was such an enlightening session. And I also want to crave your indulgence. If there are further questions that will come here after this session tonight, please oblige us to answer them so that we can share on our platform. Just giving you a heads up, if we have more questions tonight that we didn't take and they come after, just like what you said, some persons take time to process. They may not process real time, but afterwards they have questions. So we will push them to you, and we trust that you'll be gracious enough to respond to us so that we can share and learn from your expertise. On that note, we have come
Thank you.
to the end of the session tonight. Thank you, everyone. Without you, the meeting tonight wouldn't have taken place. It's always a pleasure to have people join in, leave every other thing that you have to do, and give us solid 2 hours of 1.5 hours of your time. That's a great honor. It also shows how much you want to go, which is why you're here. So thank you, because you are the real MVP for tonight, for giving us your family time, your personal time, your rest time, just to be here. We hope that in the next 2 weeks, when we have another session, that you will also be here to enjoy together, learning together, sharpening minds, and becoming better, emotionally intelligent women. On that note, we say good night and enjoy your night rest. And if you are just starting your day in any part of the world, do enjoy your day and have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And today is Chidima's birthday, so happy birthday to Chidima and
Oh,
everyone. Please send her a happy birthday message.
Thank you, Chidinma. Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday,
Thank you, God bless
Chidima.
you. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, happy birthday. More of you, bigger you, better you. We pray.
Amen.
Amen.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much, Dr. Odabo.
Yeah.
My pleasure.